Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for RS3. Now this week we have a double XP coming up and Amascut next steps this week in RuneScape. So the next steps for the Amascut, the God of Destruction, has been wreaking havoc on players all week. But some brave adventurers have managed to bring her down in the world's first races. Um, but imagine massive congratulations to the first team to do so, who consisted of Pup, Evo Lucario, Aaron Huns, Go At or Goat, and Glue, lovingly titled the Slurpers, due to one of them, not naming names, noticing how often the player character makes a drinking noise while doing PVM. But yeah. But with the first news, the kills behind everything, the looking ahead to launch the combat mastery achievements coming in the near future. So they haven't set the date yet, but the rough ETA is around 1 month after the boss is released. So alongside with the achievement, they plan on to release the 4000 Rage version of the fight. Originally, this was intended to launch with either Enraged Tears, but as a pros release, they chose to take some extra time to tweak and refine it based on early feedback from the race to the world first. So of course, they do want to get some feedback on this through the official Discord and subreddit. Double XP, this is beginning August 15th. Now, there's going to be a little bit of difference with this. So it is going to be a double XP 10-day start stop whenever you choose to. It'll be lasting until August 25th on a Monday, starting and ending at 12 p.m. game time. And you get 48 hours total that you can actually accumulate at your leisure. But there is going to be some MTX limitations this time around, because remember, they are testing the different MTX things and getting a happy middle ground for not only for them, but for us as players. So fantastic news for us, right? But during this double XP event, a number of MTX items will be unavailable and be unavailable from Treasure Hunter. For more information on this experiment, there is a recent news post. However, as you can see here, it looks to be primarily looking at the Proteans. So, yeah, here we go. The disabled items are all the Proteans, unstable Proteans, portables, cores, dummies, and then the others which go along with it, such as the Protean processor, the dummy processor, Protean prolonger. So basically anything of those effects, including the artifact duplicator, Slayer wildcards, even the Silverhawks is actually within that. Notable permitted items are such things as Premier Artifact, Spring Cleaner, Skilling Outfits, Slayer Mask and Spirit of Battle, Note Paper, Enchanted Note Paper, Fixate Charge Tokens, DG Token Boxes, Wicked Hood and Teleport Tokens, D&D Tokens, Spirit Gems, Dwarven Tools, and Fading Memory. So, of course, with doing this, as time goes on, they do want to get feedback from everybody. Personally, I think it's fine. Honestly, anything that is either going to be released as something in the game or is already in the game for that matter, should by all means be allowed, if you ask me. Patch notes though for this week: hot fix to fix an issue. Well, I should say this, and by that I mean not MTX. So, I'm not necessarily somebody who's against MTX, but I'm not necessarily for it either. But I do say that, for example, the skilling outfits, most of them you can get through in-game means. So I do think all those should be free game. Stuff like that. Maybe not stuff like Proteans and stuff like other assortments. But heading into the patch notes, we do see the hotfix where they fix an issue where Occasionally, minions on the floor telegraphing were not clearing as expected as Amascut was defeated in Phase 7. Fixed an issue with Amascut's shield not reaching 0 to transition her correctly from Phase 6 to Phase 7. Amascut, the goddess of destruction, the players receiving a unique item or unique loot after a kill will now glow along with the chest. Resolved an issue with multiple people to follow the path of light in Phase 6 and get stuck. Updated the hitbox for the Echo of Het and the Chains of the Prison's Room. Fixed an issue of Amascut's Phase 6 where it was possible to kill NPCs in the incorrect order on the platforms and get stuck. Made a change to engulfing shadow HP that Amascut absorbs on Phase 6. Amascut's actual HP will now remain untouched until the absorbed HP is depleted. Made the sweeping telegraphing in the main plaza, Phase 2 and 4, easier to see. Fixed an issue where players would be able to obtain lore books in smaller teams. Resolved an issue where occasionally Temekan would sneak out of the area with you. Eclipse of the Heart, buying access to the 4th room in the player in Sunlayer dungeon has been added as a requirement to the Trend Completionist Cape. Added some missing dialogue to Ferolilia inside Menethos throne room during the Eclipse of the Heart. The quest boss encounter with Amascut can now be replayed without cutscenes by speaking to Ectharlin in Menethos. Fix some PH tests in the adventures log for the Eclipse of the Heart quest. Reduce chat messages spam from Boon of Epkin. Some incorrect imposter map squares in the Soften quest instance have been fixed. The Gift of Friendship sound effect now only plays on the affected player. Fixed an issue that prevented players from moving souls within the 4th room in the Sunken Pyramid. Ape Mepkin can no longer leave the desert via the Shantae Pass. 110 crafting in progress and tailoring and fletching items are now protected on death. Masterwork magic armor can now be custom fit by the master crafter in the crafting guild, as with Elof's custom fitted trimmed masterwork melee in the artisan workshop. This doubles maximum degrade charges, adds degrade protection from Slayer and Reaper targets, but custom fit is untradeable. Masterwork armor, including the custom fit, now uses repair with items rather than repair with coins system, consistent with the trimmed and custom fit masterwork melee, albeit repaired from your backpack rather than anvil, as there isn't any untrimmed masterwork magic equipment to use as a repair ingredient. Repair requires one of its primary ingredient, masterwork white cloth, and like augmented masterwork melee, 32 divine charges to repair augmented masterwork magic. The hover tooltip for the custom fit masterwork melee and magic now describes their degrade protection benefit. Added GE item set boxes for Prime 1 Starbloom, +1 to +5. Added a space in the name Starbloom, +1 to +5 robes to be consistent with +1 to +5 Smith armor. In progress, Starbloom and Masterwork drafts are now the colors of finished cloth. In general, flesh crawlers and moss giants no longer drop spirit weed seeds within free-to-play worlds. Sunspear weapon overrides no longer requires the item to be keepsaked in order to be used as an override. And the activation of the Imsword perk no longer blocks the progression of daily woodcutting challenges. Fixed an issue which caused the power burst of acceleration to reset cooldown on movement abilities, such as dive only once when used within the wilderness and PvP is disabled. Fixed an issue that caused the escape input to not function when using alternative ways to closing the congratulations prompt that appeared after completing the bond's purchase. Fixing issue with choose a path interface could appear during the mining section of Tutorial Island. Ravenous Ghoul souls can now be captured with the Ashopti by defeating Ravenous Ghouls. The relic power persistent rage can no longer be used during the quest Broken Home. Sandy clues are now referred to as holiday treasure trails rather than customer support treasure trails with rune metrics. Result in issue whereby defeating next Angel of Death could reward the base tank with a reward from the secondary drop table. Fix an issue that caused Virago weapon pieces to disappear from the encounter whenever the player carrying them teleported out of the encounter while changing phases. The item should now be safely moved to the next portion of the encounter. Fix an issue that prevented players from placing souls in the sunken pyramid. Treasure Hunter calendar is going to the Shining Prismania, which is going to be starting the 14th and ending the 25th. Chat log of August 13th, Rune Skill and Chills, Great Gillinor Run. Then we go to the community. Up first, we have a pretty awesome Eclipse of the Heart with the Devourer in the background, essentially giving off all the light. And that is by Quardry. And then we have a Cheeky Chimp, so probably Mepkin, enjoying a refreshing ice cream, and it is by Nye Channel, so NY Channel. And RuneTube, face tanking Jad using Retribution plus Ezekiel on a strength build. And this is by Mini Maximust. And then up top, Village Dance, orchestral cover featuring, and this is by Mad Lilix, and if I remember seeing some of her stuff before, it's pretty awesome. Then we go into the Scaper screenshots, and sometimes you just need to bring the manifestation of the Sun God to meet some of your neighbors, featuring Klepto Mama. And then Ali is pondering the orb / moon, which also looks like maybe a dragon's eye. Interesting. And Pink's her player event, but keep in mind this is not limited to just these events. If you check the in-game calendar, you'll see much more. Dungeoneering team forming. This will be Thursday, August 14th at 18:15. Jen and Red Wigan. Damonheim, World 77 FC's DG chat. General Grador HM. Tuesday, August 12th at 8:30 GT. Evenstar Quad 8, which is Evenstar 8888, and Naughty Dub's Clan, Bando Stronghold, God Wars Engine 1, World 12, FC's A Help. And then we have Corporal Beast, which is today, just barely started a little while ago, but that is hosted by Patrick K. and Clackworthy and J3F. Corporal Beast Slayer 123, FC is Patrick K. And Community Spotlight, we have the Mazcap Academy, which is daily raids and in the evening time and around the reset. Bros of the Week, Boss of the Week is going to be August 11th through 17th. And of course, the Mazcap is part of this. But if you are looking for this, this is August 12th at 1900 GT, 14th at 2300 GT, and 16th at 1900 GT. So that is that going on. But that is actually everything go for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, later, guys.